And this next story might hit close to home for a lot of you. A writer for HuffPost says she refuses to thank her husband for helping around the house. She is suggesting that you should too. She says it implies that housework is your responsibility and extra credit for everyone else. So should you thank your partner for doing household responsibilities? Okay. We have a divided room.
Yeah.
Wow. Thoughts, ladies?
But what if your partner does the majority of the household chores? That's different, okay, because that's my situation. So I thank Simon all the time, not because I feel like I have to, but because I'm truly, really appreciative that he's doing it. There are some differences. Mm-hmm. He works from home and his work is not as steady as mine. So I want to make sure, like, I get home and if I miss something, like if he's mopped the floor and I don't notice, like he gets his feelings get hurt a bit. I'm like, oh my God, you mopped the floor, you know that. I love it so much. That being said, because my work is more steady, there is, I must admit, maybe like an expectation as well. Like the idea of, I'm gonna sound like I'm from the Mad Men era, you know, like, if my cocktail's not made by the time I walk in that door, you better clean it. No, it is sort of, but it is, like if I got home and the bed wasn't made, I'd be like, oh, so what
What'd
did
you do all day?
And he's in his nightie, you know, like,
eating bonbons, watching
like,
soap operas.
Yep. But is there a little bit of this, now this is where I'll get a little controversial, because I totally understand everything that you just said about your situation. In a traditional or conventional heterosexual situation, is there not still, at least something that I'm trying to get over, is trying to disavow myself of that role of being the CEO of the house.
Yes.
Like, I don't want that role, and yet
like, why do you have to ask someone to do stuff?
Why do you have to ask someone? But is it been baked into our identity as women that if all of a sudden I come home and it's like, you know, every woman in this room who's heterosexual especially knows you walk in the room and your eyes dart to the spots of the things that are out of order. And you're like, I didn't leave the house with it like that. And you're raging inside, like, stay calm, someone's gonna see it and they're gonna clean it. And yet, to think that I'm gonna just go and sit on the couch and put my legs up, that overflowing garbage can is gonna burn me until either I ask someone to do it or I do it. And I don't want to live like that.
You just push it down more.
Yeah.
Put in there.
So what I'm saying is, how much of it is, yes, it should be shared between whoever's at home versus also what Anne-Marie Slaughter, who's a wonderful author, said in her book, Unfinished Business, feminist chauvinism. You gotta disavow yourself of being the CEO of the household. And that's harder.
Yeah,
that is harder.
Here's the deal, but I have a question for you. Do you think sometimes we have created this monster in our own homes? Because let's be real, in the dating scene in the very beginning when we're all, you know, baking lasagnas from scratch in our teddies, trying to impress our partners. Oh, yes, my king. When we're doing all of that stuff, right? And it's all sexy and he's enjoying it, we are also setting him up for like, oh, this is the way it will be when we are together long term. But when you get into the day-to-day and the honeymoon is over, and then you add a kid into the mix, another human being who needs 24/7, 365, and you see that your partner is still sitting back waiting to be served, and you're angry, it's like, but did you set it up that way? Because what you do in the beginning, a lot of times men are like, oh, this is the way it's gonna be forever. Right? And I think that's what we're seeing here. Perhaps.
Yeah.
I'm single, what do I know?
No.
But I'm just saying.
Of course.
It's a good point.
Right?
No.
It's a good point.
I mean, I don't know. When I hear things like this, like I both relate and I don't relate because I think, and I hope there are women out there who are like me, but I'm not great at keeping house. Like I kind of suck at it. And so I'm the opposite. I'm sure there are times where Jason comes home and is like, what happened here? I was making lunch, I was doing all this stuff and I left it in a whirlwind and I walked out the door. And so I think we both equally suck at cleaning, he and I. So it becomes this dilemma that both of us are very busy. We both have extremely busy careers. We are both trying to raise this child, aging parents to look after. Like, you know, I could go on and on and on. So yes, when I come home and something is done, I thank him. I thank my son. I want to be thanked myself because it is hard work. And he thanks me back. I think we all need to thank each other a little bit more. Everyone needs to contribute. But anyway,
having said, I know we have to move on. I know you said everybody has to thank each other, and you're absolutely right. I just want to ask the television viewing audience here and at home, when's the last time you came home, especially if it's mom doing most of the work, when's the last time you thanked mom? I'm just going to put it out there, because if you haven't, maybe today's the day.
There you go.
I love that.
There you go.
Good
Love
point.
it. Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.